Okay, so let's go. Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. My name is Luz and all I do here is answer ESL questions from free ESL discussion materials that are available for free online. So today's discussion is going to be based on the website esldiscussions.com. I go by alphabetical order, so today's letter was K, so the topic I chose was Korea. Alrighty, so question 1. What images spring to mind when you hear the country Korea? Well, so first of all, I'm thinking about North and South Korea as two separate countries that used to be one country. I'm thinking of that. When I think about Korea, I'm thinking about a lot of beaches. I'm also thinking about the car brand Kia, LG, Sony. I'm thinking about East Asia as well in general. I'm also thinking about K-pop. So these are the images that spring to my mind. Question 2. What are the good things and bad things about North and South Korea? Alright guys, so I have never been to Korea. So I'm just answering these questions just off the top of my head. And I think the worst thing to do is talk about a country you've never visited. So I'm going to be basing my opinion on what I have read about these countries in the news. So this is really bad. So these are like my loose opinions. So if anyone is from South Korea or North Korea, please bear with me. These are just like questions I'm just trying to answer. Okay, so some good things about, let's begin with some good things. Some good things about North Korea. Well, some good things about North Korea. Let me see. Well, I have seen that some people have gotten permission, and this is just like from YouTube videos. I've seen that some people have received permission to enter North Korea as tourists, and I have seen that they go to some sort of museum and they want to preserve their culture, and it's really like well preserved. So I think that is something they're trying to do, whether it's political or not. I think nobody can probably take away their culture that they believe is theirs. So that's probably a good thing because everybody else is now trying to do that. So that's probably something they're doing. About South Korea, something good about South Korea, I think is the technology they give to the world. I think we have Kia, we have LG, we have Sony, we have Samsung. Samsung, was it Sony or Samsung? I think it's Samsung, not Sony. Yes, so I think these technologies are really important to the world, and they have been at the cutting edge of technology. Like, you know, if you can imagine like where cell phone technology has reached, Samsung has something right at that cutting edge of technology. So I think that's a really good thing from South Korea. The bad thing from North Korea, I think I've heard that they don't have a lot of freedoms, so they cannot really like travel to different countries and get to learn about all these cultures and see all these different types of people. Yeah, so that's a pretty bad thing. I wish they had more freedom to move. But then, having said that, I know there are a lot of people around the world who cannot receive permission to travel to any country for some reason. So I'm not sure if that's an entirely bad thing or it's just like, what is done by people who are in power. Yeah, so, but that's pretty bad when people cannot travel and just enjoy the world. Uh, Something bad about South Korea. I have heard that the women are subjected to impossible beauty standards that can only be achieved under the knife. So for me, I'm like pretty liberal when it comes to how the women want to look and how they want to see themselves and what they want to do to their body. I'm all for that. But if it's something that is being imposed, you know, then that's really unfair, and I think that's a bad thing from South Korea. Question 3. What are North and South Korea famous for? That's easy. So South Korea, I think, is really famous for technology and K-pop. I think these are really interesting things in the world. A lot of people are interested in South Korean technology. A lot of people are also interested in South Korean pop culture in the way of K-pop music. Yes, so I think that's something that they're famous for. In the north, I think the North Korea is famous for its supreme leader. So every few months we get some really interesting photos coming from North Korea. So sometimes we see the supreme leader on the horse. We see the supreme leader on the parade inspecting his generals or something like that. We see him like taking pictures of uh, weapons of mass distraction. So I think he really likes to take pictures, and I think he's like the most popular person on those pictures. So I would say like North Korea is famous for its supreme leader, Kim Jong Un, or something like that. Question 4. What do you know about North and South Korean history? Well, I don't know a lot about North and South Korean history. All I know is that they were one country in the past, like one country called Korea, and then something happened and they got separated. So the Americans tried to help out the South Koreans, and I think the Russians tried to help the North Koreans, and so they kind of established a safe zone in the middle just as a way to separate themselves and not continue the fighting or something like that. But yeah, so all I know about the history of North and South Korea is that they were one country at some point in the past, and now they are not. So that's really, really sad. Question 5. What images of North and South Korea do you have that are sad? Ooh. From the YouTube videos, I have seen some foreigners who have visited North Korea, and I have seen from the little videos, I'm not sure if they're allowed to take any videos or these are like secret cams, but you can see like the North Koreans are really surprised to see outsiders. So that's really, really sad because at this point people have probably traveled around the world and gotten to see different types of people, talk to them, and so on. But it's almost like the tourists are kind of separated from the main people of North Korea. So that's really, really sad to see that separation. And in my opinion, I think it's really sad. From South Korea, the sad image from South Korea for me, I think, are all the secret cameras that are installed in like women's bathrooms or something like that. So that's really, really sad, especially for the women. Yeah, the secret cameras. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos where people are checking into hotels and they just want to like check the entire room to see if there's a spy camera. Of course, there are a lot of people who do this probably around the world, but I don't know why it's overreported in South Korea. So that's what I'm thinking about when I think of sad images from South Korea. Question 6. What do you think about the fact that North and South Korean families cannot write to, telephone, or see each other? Well, I think it's really, really sad because, well, so let's face it. So a lot of families don't communicate every day unless they live together. But I think that's one thing because even though you don't communicate with your friends or even family on a daily basis, in the back of your mind, you're thinking about them, you're wishing them well, you kind of know how they're doing, and you're happy for them and looking forward to seeing them at some point in the future. But to have it imposed upon you guys by the government that you're not to communicate or check up on each other, I think it's just like really disheartening, and I cannot begin to imagine what these families could be going through. Yeah, that's really, really sad. Question 7. What has North and South Korea given to the world? Yes, I think the North Koreans have given to the world a lot of pictures. So there are a lot of pictures coming from North Korea of the supreme leader and his generals. I think, it's always a sight to see. It's very well planned. So it's a sight to see. With South Korea, I think they've given the world K-pop. They've been very generous with their technology as well. And I've also heard that the plastic surgery in Korea is top notch. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos where a lot of girls have gone down to South Korea to get plastic surgery and come out with really excellent results. So yeah, I would say that medical technology is kind of something that they're giving the world, and the world is receiving it very well. Question 8. Would you like to visit North and South Korea or live there? I would definitely love to visit North and South Korea, absolutely. So I have never been to the North or South Korea, but in the future I'm hoping to. It's always nice to see a lot of interesting things, and of course, like in East Asia, they have really interesting food as well. I would be really, really keen to try out, definitely. I heard that South Korea, especially, is a pretty advanced country, so I'd like to see what they're doing over there. That would be really, really nice. Would I like to live there? Probably not. Probably not. I think it would be really difficult for me to live in South Korea without having knowledge of the Korean language. At this point in my life, I'm also not looking to learn another language, so I think that would be really, really difficult for me to like live in South Korea and not learn the language. So yeah, I would definitely love to visit, but for now, I'm just really not looking to move. Okay, question 9. What do you know about the geography of North and South Korea? Well, like I said, the North and South Korea, they were once one country of Korea and then they got separated. Just by a quick look of the map here, I can see that North Korea borders China and Russia on the north, and then South Korea borders Japan over here. I can also see that they have a lot of beaches all around their countries. Their South Korea is almost an island. If it wasn't for the northern chunk of the North Korea just joining the country right there, it would be an island like Japan. So I think that it's really, really interesting and a really beautiful country as well. But just by the look of that, that's all I can see. Alrighty, question 10. Who are the most famous North and South Korean people you know? Okay, so I do not personally know anyone from North or South Korea, but I definitely know by the way of media, I know about a famous person in North Korea, and that would be the supreme leader of North Korea. In South Korea, I know about a K-pop band by the name of I think Blackpink. Blackpink. I think they had a Netflix special which I watched from start to finish a few times, and I really, really loved it. I loved the work ethics of the girls. I like how the group really worked well together. I liked how they supported each other. I'm not the biggest fan of K-pop, but I really enjoyed watching that Netflix special of Blackpink. I'm not really sure about the individual members of the group. I think it's 5 people in the group, and it was really, really nice to see a lot of interesting arts coming from South Korea. Alright guys, so those are really difficult questions on the letter K, so let's hope for better questions on the next one. So guys, thanks for watching.